Good morning, y'all, y buenos dias. So today I wanted to share our curriculum picks and what our day-to-day is gonna look like for our homeschool year. So if you're interested, then keep on watching. Okay, so this is video 3 in this little 3-part series where we're just preparing for the upcoming school year. I'll leave the other 2 videos down below, which is the haul and then our overarching theme and ideas for the year. But today I wanted to share what curriculums we're gonna use and also, what each day is gonna look like. So first I'll just show y'all what we're working with. For math, if y'all don't already know, I love the Singapore math. We are on KB and we're almost at the end of KB. So we've got just this bit left. So we're on chapter 13 of 14 of KB. And once we're done with both of these, we're almost done with both the textbook and the workbook, we'll be moving to the test booklet, which we're not going to use as test. We're just going to be working through and just as a really good review. I have a full in-depth flip through of this program. So if y'all want to check it out, I'll link that down below as well. Just so plainly laid out. And this also comes with the teacher's guide, which is so wonderful. They give so many hands-on ideas. It's not set for a homeschool setup. It is set for a classroom full of children, but there's so many different ways to kind of maneuver those activities so that you can do them with your child. Again, really simple. I love the illustrations in here. They're really simple and cute. And the teacher's guide is very straightforward. It tells you several things, several different activities depending on what it is that your child likes to do. So this is what we're working for math. And we also have the interactive math notebooks. And I've also shared about these before. We just scan these and then print them out. And then we put them into a notebook itself. And so it'll kind of look like this. And there's a lot of gluing, a lot of cutting, a lot of coloring, which is what I love about this one. And now for reading, we are doing the All About Reading program. And we are currently on level 2. We're currently on level 2 on lesson 22. So this one is lesson 22 out of 57. And for this one, we already worked through all of level 1. I also have a video on that flipping through. I think that this is probably the best reading program ever because so many of us weren't taught how to read necessarily. We were taught how to memorize words, which is different. And it's just wild how Luna can sound things out that she's never seen before reading, and how I remember, being young and not knowing just what the symbols all together meant, and therefore I didn't know the word, and that was really, really frustrating for me. And I think that this program is also great for hands-on learners. A lot of cutting and pasting and gives you so many different ideas for, magnetic letters and stuff like that. And so it's not just a sit down and reading and, kind of doing like that. It's super hands-on, which is everything that I want. I want it to be interactive. I don't want it to be boring, sit down, just going over and over again. I want it to be fun, especially at the age that she's at. She really leans into sit down stuff like that. And so I give her the opportunity, but I also like to mix it up. So we're doing that. And these are the books. These are the readers that come with this program, and they go along with each lesson. We are currently on the story of the Skunk Hotel. Again, we homeschool year round. So this is like what we're doing, but we've already kind of been doing it. And so this is the level that Luna's at right now. This is such a cute story. I love the illustrations in those stories. So yeah, we're doing the All About Reading, and we're also doing Explode the Code. And this one is more just practice work. So this one is level 1. So this one's very, very simple for her, but I enjoy the fact that she likes it so much because it's repetitive. She knows what she's doing. She feels really, really confident, words like cat and Pam and sat, words that are very simple to her, but it helps out with handwriting as well. And we do a lot of different activities with this. So like this, they are passing something. And so for this sheet, we make it into an activity. And so we get up and we try to hurry up and act it out. Ow, we try to do the same figure as this person's doing, just to make it fun, just to make it add some movement to it and stuff. And so that is for, I'd say, a combination of reading and handwriting. And then this one I had already shared with y'all. This is just another little handwriting booklet, and we like to color in here, and sometimes we'll do it together. We like to like recreate this picture on the side just to make it a little bit more fun. And then we also have our Spanish book, which I had shared in my last video as well. And then for some other books that we'll be using as our curriculum as well is the Encyclopedia of Very Important Things, tons of science and like social type stuff in here. So this is really great. As I mentioned before, we're really going to be focusing on the body, and so I have both of these books that I had talked about before that we're going to be working through. My Mixed Emotions, and then also, because we're outdoorsy folks, the two books that we are going to be working through for outside are these two, the Exploring Nature activity book for kids and also Foraging for kids. I think that because of our lifestyle, this one is just key, and there's all kinds of recipes, and so we've been adapting those recipes for us and kind of like really digging in and looking at to what's all around us. And of course that's just within our style, and so it just varies, you know, from family to family and what you have access to. And then another really big thing is our poetry, and I have my big stack of poetry books right here that I'll just show y'all really quickly. I heard it from Alice Zucchini. This is a gardening poetry book, The Blacker the Berry. Another really beautiful book on Black children. Hablando con Madre Tierra. This is my favorite poetry book and probably my favorite book, period. Somos las Nubes. Another one by the same author. When Green Becomes Tomatoes. This is a really sweet book. We've had this one for a while, but it goes by date. And so this one is December 29th. And so for this one, we actually have it out and we read that day's poem. So it's really sweet, just kind of follow along. And as well as this one, 13 Moons on Turtled Back. This one is the native calendar poetry book, and it goes with the moon. And so again, this one we save. I just tab it out to what moon we're on and we read that one. This one is The Seasons, another poetry book on that. And then Hip Hop Speaks to Children, which I've shown a bunch of times before because it's really, really fun. And so yeah, so those are our poetry books. And then we have the Gentle Hands, which is kind of like our sing-songy stuff. So before I get into what we do for homeschool, I wanted to talk about what other stuff we do every single day. So every single day, Luna helps me clean up the house. She helps me prepare at least some of the meals. We go and take care of the plants and animals outside. And so I like to include that in my idea of homeschool because she's learning so much through that. And I wanted to preface with the fact that typically it takes about 20 minutes for us to do our sit down stuff. And then the rest of the time it's the kids exploring, you know, different books or the shelf. And for the majority of the days, we'll be in this room about 2 to 3 hours a day throughout the whole day. And so at 9 o'clock we have our clase time. So we come in, we do our weather chart, we do our calendar, kind of to start it off. We sing our Buenos Dias song, and then we will sit down and get into the work that we have set up for the day. Again, Kwali loves to sit down and does their little workbook that they have, but typically it takes about 20 minutes to do the sit down stuff. And then after that, they kind of explore and do whatever else that they want to do in the clase. And by no means is there any pressure to do any specific thing. Again, I'm just fortunate that the stuff that I lay out, Luna really enjoys. And so there's never been any issues with her being like, well, I don't want to do this, or, you know, I'm not feeling this or whatever, because I kind of got it down to where it's something new and different all of the time, to where it's really entertaining for her. Okay, and so now for our schedule, I'll be looking down here because this is where I have, you know, what the layout is. So in the beginning of each week, I set up the Montessori shelf, and this shelf has all of our hands-on stuff that I just have out for them to play with. And so they'll just kind of pick something off the shelf and kind of go into one corner of the room and kind of work on that. And so that shelf switches out every week, and I share that shelf on Instagram, and then I have it saved up on Patreon so that folks can go back and see it all of the time. And so that is once a week. I kind of rotate through that. And then for our daily schedule, so Monday we go through one lesson of Singapore math, and most of the time she just asks for more because we kind of are able to do it fairly quickly. Let me just pull up one specific lesson right here so that y'all can see. So this is chapter 13 right here. And so this is the first page of that lesson. So we're just looking at it. We're seeing, you know, what time of day do you think? What are they doing? You know, just kind of talking about that. And then this is lesson 1. And again, we're talking and discussing and figuring out what time of day. And then this is the exercise, which is we'll draw what we do at each time of day. And that's it for lesson 1 out of the textbook. And then we go into the workbook and go to the same page, to the same lesson. So lesson 1 on that, and she actually already did it because she just wanted to. And it is, what time of day is it? Is it daytime or nighttime? And Luna just circled all of those. And that's it for one lesson. And so like I said, typically we blow through more lessons because she's like, no, I want to do more. And so again, we just go along with that. And then we also do one lesson of the all about reading. And that one, the lessons are a little bit longer. And so we will finish just one lesson within that day span. And typically I'll have it all set up. So all of the things are already torn out so that she can glue and she can cut. And that way it just goes by a little bit smoother. And then also on Mondays, she has her art classes with my sibling Jess. And Jess goes to art school and they're really, really good. And I just really like that Luna loves to draw with Jessie. And so Jess will just give her a really open-ended piece of work that she has to work on. And so Luna will be on her side of the screen creating whatever it is that Jess is kind of just talking about. And so since we're working on the ocean, they'll be working on, ocean scenery or paint the beach or whatever it is. And it's basically just very open so that she can create whatever it is that she wants. And on Tuesday, we do a page out of the interactive math notebook, and we also do a lesson of the Explode the Code. And the Explode the Code, very, very simple. Again, this is very easy for her, so she kind of goes through it really fast. This one, instead of just circling, we color it. This one, we try to make different sentences with it. Fan, it's really hot, so we need to turn on the fan, kind of make it a little bit more fun. And then this one, she has to write it out. We usually get through about one lesson for that. And also on Tuesdays, we will work on social emotional skills. So we'll pick up this book and we will dig into something that we think we really need to work on. So all about anger. Why are reasons that sometimes we're angry? What should we do when we're angry? What are healthy things we can do to maneuver through that emotion? Different things like that. And so we'll just sit down and talk about it. And if it's something that I really think needs to go a little bit deeper, I'll find another book that kind of correlates with this and we'll kind of just sit and chat about that. Wednesdays is the interactive language arts one, which is the same thing, gluing, pasting, coloring, except this one is about sentences and words and, word families and stuff like that. We also will work on the human body. And so going through these booklets, talking about consent, talking about, how our body works, our anatomy and things of that nature. Also, Wednesday is documentary day. And so we will sit and watch a documentary. Right now, since we're working on the ocean unit study, it'll be tons of ocean documentaries. And also on Wednesdays is when we do our online Spanish Academy. And it is a virtual homeschool Spanish class that Luna takes. And it's really awesome because we have the same teacher. And one of the key things that I really wanted was just a conversational paced for her. They do offer classes for kids who are just learning, but since Luna is already bilingual, I really wanted someone that she can just practice with. And so her teacher's fantastic, and she will just ask her about her day, or Luna, ¿qué comió hoy? Very simple things that Luna could just have a conversation with. And so it's just an extra way for her to practice. And I actually have them linked down below if y'all want to check them out as well. On Thursdays, we will do another lesson of the Singapore math and another lesson of the Explode the Code. And if y'all saw the last video where I talk about, the things that we're going to be working on, a lot of those real life skills, on Fridays we go to the library, on Fridays we go to the post office if we need to go drop anything, and on Fridays we go to the grocery store. So a lot of going out and about, and so those days are the days where I'm really critical about allowing her to be in positions to be able to do stuff. It's really important for her to be able to feel included. And so on Fridays, she helps me make the list. And so she's, practicing her handwriting, practicing looking around in the house, like, ¿qué falta? ¿Qué es lo que tenemos que comprar? All of these things are really important. And also on Fridays, we do our poetry day. So we sit down and I make a tea and we make it into a big thing, and she really enjoys it. And on Friday afternoons, we do our game nights. And so we'll bring out all of the board games that we have and kind of rotate through them. We'll play Uno, we'll play all of these really fun games that she really likes. So that is it for our schedule and our curriculum picks. I am so excited to share all of this information with y'all. I am currently working on sharing our ocean unit study on Patreon. So if you haven't checked that out, hit the link down below. If you have any comments or questions, shoot them down below as well. Gracias for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.